Hey guys, what is up? Thank you so much for tuning in on today. We're going to be looking a little bit about Jesus and how Jesus called out those around him when he saw injustices. When he looked at the Pharisees and he saw the Pharisees, he was able to call them out. So join us on this journey as we dig a little bit deeper into who is this man. So, in Matthew 23 it says this: Jesus said to the crowds and to his disciples, "The Pharisees and the teachers of the law are experts in the laws of Moses, so obey everything they teach you, but don't do as they do. After all, they say one thing and they do something else. They pile heavy burdens on people's shoulders and they won't lift a finger to help. Everything they do is to show off in front of others. They even make a big show of wearing scripture on verses around their foreheads and their arms, and they wear big tassels for everyone to see. They love the best seats at the banquet and in front seats in the marketplaces. But when they are in the market, they like to have people greet them as their teachers." I just want to stop it there. This whole passage goes on and we could talk about later on in the passage and what it says about the Pharisees, but I want to stop it there because I just want to focus really, really shortly on this idea that Jesus called it as he saw it. He called it as he saw it. Jesus saw the Pharisees for who they were, and he wasn't okay in allowing people to believe that they could continue their journey, they could continue their life looking up to these people, when actually, although they taught some good things, their lifestyles didn't show it. What I want to propose to us today is simple, and that is, are we ready to start calling people out? Are we ready to start saying to people, hey, your lifestyle isn't showing the way you speak? And when we see injustices, when we see tragedies going on in the world, are we ready to look at them and make a stand for what they are? Recently in news, we would find that 97% of females have been sexually harassed in some way during their life in Britain. Now, if you ask me, that's 97% too many. It's a complete failing. It's a complete heartbreak that we've allowed society to get to this place where it is normal for people. This sexual harassment has been normalized within society. And it breaks my heart to see that. It breaks my heart and every being that we've allowed ourselves to get to a place where 97% of females in the UK don't feel safe to walk down the street. It's heartbreaking. It's not good enough. And I guess my question for you is, if you see that, what are you going to do about that? Jesus in this moment has opportunity. His opportunity in this moment is to make a stand against stuff that he thinks isn't good enough. He makes a stand in this moment to say this is bang out of order. We are following the Pharisees, listening to the Pharisees, and we're trying to live like the Pharisees, but the Pharisees are hypocritical, living double lives, saying nice things, but actually, although they might be experts, their lives are not living up to what they should be. They're out of order. They're not good enough. Maybe there's other things in your life other than the 97% where you're looking at people and saying, yeah, you're saying all the nicest things, the greatest things. Maybe it's a relationship you're in and he has a way with words, or she has a way with words, and you're around them all the time and it feels so great, and they chat to you and it's so lovely, and you feel so, they just know what to say, but they treat you terribly. Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's bigger than that, as we say about the 97%. Maybe it's something within society ingrained, and you look at it and you're saying, this isn't okay. Are we going to have the courage like Jesus to speak out? Are we going to have the courage like Jesus to stand up? Are we going to have the courage like Jesus to turn around and say, hey, although some things you might be doing are fine, and I'm not putting the condemnation on everything that the Pharisees are doing. Jesus says they know the law. I can't deny the fact that they understand the law of Moses. They are brilliant at it. And so listen to them when they teach that. But also there's a part of their lives which isn't good enough. There's something going on with them which I need to call out. And so Jesus doesn't just throw the baby out with the bathwater. He says in that moment, there are some great things that the Pharisees are doing. They know their Bible, but they just don't live it out. And so when we look at these movements and these great moves, and there might be some fantastic things in there, but are we ready to call out the little things that hurt us? Are we ready to look at people and say, do you know what? You're fantastic at this and you are brilliant at doing this. And I want to praise everything you're doing in this place because of what you're doing here. But do I have a courage to correct them? Do I have a courage to warn? Do I have a courage to approach them and say, hey, what you're doing is fantastic, but this is what Jesus does in this moment. He takes the courage, the boldness to stand up and say, yes, you're great at this, but are your lives leading up to this? The final thing I want to say is, are our lives living up to our words? Or are we going to be called out by Jesus as well? When we finally meet Jesus, are we going to be called out by him who says, yeah, you knew the Bible, you were great at the Bible, but your lives didn't live up to that. But your attitude, the way you viewed life, didn't end up the way that you were viewing the Bible. A reflective question. Is your life in the right place? Are you doing the right things? Are you following God the right way? Maybe you are. Maybe your life, your works show that you are following after God. But let's remember what it says, that faith without works is dead. And we could have the knowledge like the Pharisees of the Bible, knowing everything that is written in Scripture. But if our lives are not showing the greatest of these, if our lives aren't showing Jesus and his love, if we're not moved to compassion, if we're not moved to action, if we're not moved to call out things that aren't right in our society, then our question remains. The question is simple. What's the point? I just want to encourage you today to say, have courage like Jesus. Be bold like Jesus. And why don't we all together make a stand just like Jesus? I've been Ben Tugwell. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this has met you where you are, and I hope that you might be encouraged but challenged by this. Thank you so much as well again for watching. I'll be back here next week with another segment of this series, Who is this man? Be blessed and be